So in this video I'm going to go through 3 reasons why Marvel is trolling its fans and also making terrible mistakes. Now you have to bear in mind that Avengers Endgame was filmed around 3 years ago, but since then Marvel has started to make serious mistakes, and it also led to the release of Captain Marvel, which we'll go into. But the first mistake that Marvel has started to make is to lie to their fans. Back in 2016, Kevin Feige claimed that Brie Larson was a fan of Captain Marvel from the comics, but recently Brie Larson has said that she never actually heard of Captain Marvel, and she actually thought that she was going to replace Chris Evans as Captain America. And I'll link to a video of that interview where Brie Larson says that she thought she was going to replace Captain America. So why is the president of Marvel lying to the fans and claiming that these actors and actresses are huge fans of Marvel when they actually haven't even heard of the characters? It's quite ridiculous what these people are now doing. A second case of lying is when Brie Larson claimed that she did her own stunts, and that actually led to an argument with her and Chris Hemsworth during an interview. And Brie Larson claimed that she did her own stunts. She has actually proof. There's photos both from the filming of Avengers Endgame and the Captain Marvel movie of her with her stunt double on Instagram. So there's lots of proof already out there, quite easy to find, that shows that these people are now lying to the fans. And when a production company and also the actors lie to the fans, it shows a real sign of contempt. It shows that they don't actually respect the fans enough, that they're prepared to try and lie to the fans when there's no particular reason. They should just focus on making great movies, which is what Marvel have done. But now they see a reason to start lying to the fans. Now point number 2 is identity politics, because there's rumours that Marvel wants to develop a female-only superhero movie, and that's actually quite a ridiculous thing to do, because we've already had Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is a male and female characters. We've had Captain Marvel, which is a standalone female character, and we're also going to have Black Widow, which is another standalone female character. So why would they want to go backwards and develop a movie only featuring female characters? Instead, just focus on the story and making good movies instead of focusing on the identity politics. And also Brie Larson, whose character Captain Marvel, she said that she wants to see a female-only movie. Why go down this route of identity politics instead of just focusing on making great movies? And we've seen the damage that identity politics can do with Star Wars. The Star Wars brand has taken a real battering because they injected identity politics into their movies. So why would Marvel want to copy them and risk doing the same thing? Again, they should just focus on making the best movies possible. Now point number 3, and actually the most damaging point that you're going to see, and I think you're going to see this over the next 5 to 10 years with Marvel, when you see the quality of the Marvel movies deteriorate, this is going to be the key reason, and nobody's really discussing it yet. Now, when I saw that Jude Law was going to be in Captain Marvel, that was a real warning sign to me, because Jude Law's movies are not very good. If you go through all the reviews of Jude Law's movies and the average scores, they're not very good. I'm not saying he's a terrible actor, but he's nowhere near the quality of Mark Ruffalo. He's a very average actor. And again, Angelina Jolie, she's been linked with a Marvel movie, The Eternals. Again, if you go through her movies, they're not very good movies. They might make quite a bit of money at the box office. These might be popular actors, but they're not quality actors. And that is one of the reasons why Marvel has become so good and made such great movies, because they've got great actors. If you have great actors, you can make great movies. If you have average actors, you have average movies. It's quite logical, quite sensible. So if Marvel continue to make poor casting decisions and employing average actors, their movies will be average, and the quality of their movies will start to deteriorate. These are the mistakes that Marvel is starting to make. And trust me, when I saw that Jude Law was going to be in Captain Marvel, I knew it wasn't going to be a good movie, because he's never in any good movies, not for probably 10 or 15 years. And that is the truth. If you go on IMDb, there's factual information and reviews that show that these 2 actors are not in good movies. They're quite average actors, and they're nowhere near the talent level of actors and actresses like Scarlett Johansson. And the irony is that these actors might actually be paid more than the previous actors. So Scarlett Johansson and Mark Ruffalo and those type of actors like Chris Evans who built up Marvel, they may be paid less than the actors who are actually worse than them and then go on to ruin Marvel. I would not be surprised at all if that happens. So these are the real mistakes that Marvel is starting to make. They're starting to lie to their fans, they're starting to inject identity politics into their movies, and they're starting to make poor casting decisions. But if you disagree with me, leave your comments below. If you do agree, please like and subscribe. But for me, these are 3 real mistakes that Marvel has started to make.